Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Okay, so I hope everything will be fine. How is my audio? All right, let me share this. Let me keep this away if no one is there. I can put this thing on. Okay, okay, okay. So where were we? Okay, guys, I have posted my GitHub repo on the chat. So if you want to explore the repo, feel free to do so. And so I think this issue that I opened for content change, it's done. Right, so let's close this. Okay. uh, yeah, so this is what we did, right? Content collection, changes, total changes and all. Mm. So we need to remove this thing. Let's do. So as you can see, we have implemented this thing where you can see what are the changes and what items has been added and removed and modified and all. So, so this was the file part, right? Now let's create this thing in CLI applications. Hello, hello guys. What's up? फाइल नोट चेंज वाला एरर कैसे सॉल्व हुआ? Okay, file not change, yes. So actually it was with vi. As soon as I use nano, it worked. So maybe vi does couple of things, right? It and like deals with few swap files, it creates and deletes them. So we haven't handled all the cases of these things over here on the event kind. So we need to do that as well. So the swap file got created, so it goes into this create event. Then it added into a hash map, and while removing and so either we have to create another event and that filters the files, right? It does not it should not take the swap files and all. It should only take .txt file. So we have to do I mean something over here as well on the event kind, this match statement. I hope this was the issue, right? File not change. Let me go over here again, handle content change. So over here we added these things, check diff, yes, yes, check diff and all. So this is checking the content line by line. You read the line, store them in a vector, and you have all the lines. You find the max line out of it, and whoever has the max line, the loop will be set to a bound, like 0 to max length minus 1. So from there you run it and map it with the old content. If it's changed, then तो फिर ये it goes into the it we have added also the event types, added, remove, modified. So based on that, change type, based on that we like store them on hash map. And like the benefit of this is we can filter them based on the change type, which are added, which are removed, which are modified, so that we can have a complete summary over here. Added this much lines, removed this much lines, and modified this much lines. Okay, so now the file part is, so there is a rep, like I have pinned the repo, so you can check that out and explore that code. If you want to add something, add. If you want to raise an issue, do that. Fix, like provide a fix, do that. Now this file part is done. So what was our motive was, we create an application where we watch a directory, and we will add like monitoring network as well. So we will monitor networks as well. So this was the file monitoring. Now we will monitor network. So we will write like we will map a utility that will monitor the given network. Okay, so we will do that as well, but we need to like currently everything is hard coded, right? So there is a directory path that is hard coded on the main src file. So we want it to be a CLI so that the user enters from the terminal that okay, this directory I need to watch. So we will do that today. We'll do that today, and after that we will do network monitoring part. So this way you will have a rough application that monitors networks, files, a kind of, and you can like implement many things over there. You can monitor a network and found out suspicious activities. You can check who is like altering the directory, so that currently it's maintaining a internal data structure. You can save it to JSON files like text files, or save it to a DB somewhere, so it will be if optimized, and you can optimize this code as well. So later you will have a robust application that will monitor anything like a file, if that's someone is monitoring a file, or someone is like spoofing on the networks and all. This is the idea. Let's see where it goes. So now let's make it first a CLI application. Currently we just run the project. Now we want, so we will take help of this thing. I haven't mugged up everything over here, so we will take help of the Rust book. Rust book has if I was reading like earlier, so it has a thing where programming a guessing game where it asks the user for input. So we will implement, we'll take that part, this thing, fail to read line. We'll take help of this. All right. And please let me know if the stream is going well, and also let me know that either you are liking this live go live thing, or you want a pre-recorded video with all. I used to do that pre-recorded video wall apart, but it has like lot more work. I think first you do, then you edit, then you fumble lot many times while like recording. So that's why I thought I should go live. So now that we want to convert it into a application where user will enter something and we will read that thing, so we'll take help of this thing. Now why I remember this, because while reading the book I was encountered with this, I think. So I take help of this. So it says IO dot standard input read line guess and this. So it also has something that also handles the error, right? So we can do this thing, but expect. So standard input read line, and based on the read line we will first of all check if the directory exists. If not, we will send back a message to a user that says okay, the directory does not exist, something like that. mm, so it says unsafe result that must be used. They have written somewhere a safe version of like completely safe version that like deals with the error gracefully. I think this is it. Fail to read the line, you guess this. All right, so we have mute guess, so we'll say new guess. So let's do this thing. So currently we are handling like this, right? So we will take that in path. So it takes a string slice, right? So we'll make that into a string slice. So we'll say path. We haven't declared path, right? Error occurred, making an exit hash string. Yeah, this was, I was testing the hash part. So this was the status. Now let's do something. It will be something like this. Let path is equal to, oh, this thing. So we can give the path here as well, then it will take it here. So now this path should come from the terminal. A user should enter this. Guys, feel free to like the stream, and also please let me know if the stream is going well. Are you guys feeling any lag or something? Also, if you have any project in mind or anything that you want to see or want to build together, you can post it on the chat. We will build together. So I will build here. You can side by side open your system and all to do so. Okay. So this path has to came from the user. So now let's do this thing. So it says we'll create a let mm, user entry is equal to okay. Now it says read line. There was a function read line, right? Oh, okay. Standard input dot read line. It take a mute string. So the buffer is and mute user entry dot expect error in reading the input. What's the error here? And mute guess, because it can update, because user can update the entry. So we have this thing. It is stored in somewhere. No. So let's print this thing. All right. So let's say Vipin Joshi. User entered Vipin Joshi with new line, right? So let's do this thing. So we have frame over here. All right. So this takes the input. Now what we want to do is we want to send something to terminal, like welcome to this and this and this, right? So let's beautify this thing. We have status, so we should maybe like this. What's the time? Almost 20 minutes. Okay. Welcome to, name it scan guard. Okay. And we can say enter the target type to watch. Okay. So it says welcome to scan guard, enter the target type to watch. So why I'm entering this? Because Here the user will enter types like file, network, and something like that, that we can catch up later. Welcome to ScanGuard. Enter the target type you want to watch. Okay. Now, okay, so based on the type, all right, so we can create an enum that will hold few types, right? That we can define. Okay, so how we'll do that? Should we define it outside main? What do you think? Is it a like good practice to define outside main? What do you think, guys? Whoever is watching, you just give me a minute, guys. All right. How is the stream going, guys? Uh, if you like the stream, that would be good. So I know it's tough and it's like frustrating to see anyone who is working on Sundays. Okay, so should we make an enum over? That's what I'm saying. I think it wouldn't allow us to do so because it will be public enum here. That is not very safe sounding. Mm, it will be like constant. So can we create something on the file, create a file of constants maybe? But for now, let's say we are here. We'll say enum uh, uh, tar target type. What could be the target type? It could be file File, yes, it could be network. For now, let's handle these two things. It has never been used. All right. Now we will check whether the user entered an input that matches these two types. So this is the enum, right? So if you have gone through my video of enum, that explains that you should define enum where you have the finite set of possibilities, right? So the example that I give on the video is, let's suppose there is a traffic light has three lights, right? Red, green and yellow. So you should define an enum for those because it has finite set of possibilities. There cannot be a color called purple on that thing. Maybe in any country, I don't know, but that's the general idea. There are three lights and there could not be a fourth light for anything on the traffic light, right? Red, green, yellow. So you should define an enum over there because it has a finite set of. So here is the same thing. We have a finite set of targets. It may be a file or a directory and network, and maybe in future if you want to add anything, but for now we will handle two things: file, network. All right. So we have defined a target type. Now we will match that the user entered a value that matches the target type or not. If not, then we will also return that those things. So if I do this, user entered this should not come, right? So I need to filter these things as well. So if it's a enter, then it should bypass. Okay. mm, so how could you do that? So we can simply say creating a CLI in Rust. So we simply do this. Maybe a good Medium article can help us. Command line apps in Rust. So you can see writing a program with simple command line interface is a great exercise for beginner who is new to the language and want to get a feel for it. That's what we are doing. Let's go. Foobar 10 bus. This thing. In the end, we want to be able to do like this. So, what kind of project do you want to write? How about we start with something simple? Let's write a small grep clone. This is a tool that we can give a string and a path, and it will print only the lines that contains the given string. Yes. So what it does? Cargo run. Hello world. That's all right. Yes. No pattern given. No path given. So this is the thing that I'm looking for. So the command line application, just like command work. So if we say sudo apt get, so these are the arguments that we need to fetch. So it fetches the argument based on this index. So if I say sudo apt get, so the index of get and apt. So this way we can find, like, do this thing. So we have to do this as well. So how should we do this? So let's say a user entered this, right? So it says enter the target type to watch. Let's suppose I type uh, file and then hit enter. Then it should ask us the path as well. Then we'll say okay, path is document test folder. Then I hit enter. Then it says if it exists, then it will say okay, scanning the okay, the event has been the watch has been started on this thing, right? If it's a file, then we'll do the same thing. So we need something like that. It's a simple thing, but let's learn how to do that. uh, Input output. Okay, no problem. File dot create new document. So if you had worked on something like that, we can talk. is completed. It's HTTP request. Let's do this. Getting the raw argument this way straightforward. Like pattern, we have this args and the spec, no pattern given. It reads from the env, I think. Yesterday env argument. CLI argument is data type. CLI argument as data type. So it says struct CLI. There is a pattern. There is a path. Right. Pattern path argument CLI type this and args dot pattern args dot path env. So from the terminal, it will fetch the arguments. No pattern given. No path given. CLI dot parse. We don't have this requirement because we don't want to pass the argument, but we can pass the argument. So we can create a command like this. So it says enter the target type to watch, right? So we can do something like file and then this, something like this. So this way it will detect, okay, the target type is file and this is the path, but we don't want to do that, right? Because if the target type is file, maybe we want to write it come directory, entire directory to watch, or maybe a specific file to watch. So we'll skip this thing. We'll do it one by one. So we can say, because we don't have requirement, so we should not do, but I think this is the good document over here. Let me just uh, paste it on chat as well, so that you can guys can have a look. Communicating with humans. Exit codes is good thing. In-depth service, signal handling, config files, packaging and distributing output for humans and machine. Nice error. First implementation. We can show this. So result. Okay, that is fine. Unwrapping. Uh, that is fine. Mm, see, this thing. This return type we already have discussed in our application, right? Why we do this, and you will see this lot more often on the API side of thing, right? Providing context, read this thing, output for humans and machine using println. Okay. Showing a progress bar. Oh go. Okay, some CLI application run less than a second while others take minutes or hour. If you are writing one of the later type of programs, you might want to show the user something. This is cool. You should try print useful status update ideally in the form that can be easily consumed using the indicative crate. Acha. You can add the progress bar and little spinners to your program. Cool. Here is a quick sample. So we say this to hard work, this increment, and finish with message done. How crazy. Like this. You must have seen somewhere like installing a program or something like that, like this. This one is looking good. Okay, so we can use it somewhere. That's a good thing. Indicative. So indicative crate for progress bars. It's on chat as well. Check this out. Logging. Syslog log create env logger. You can like create this of your own. Maybe you won't see like any colors and all, but I use this on my backend, the one where I wrote with Actix Web. I have used this crate. So yes, it shows something like this. For error, it will be a red. Anything testing, packaging, okay. Signal handling, communicating with humans. This is the one thing that I'm. When everything is fine, it is useful to report the application progress. Trace your info. Packages. Guys, if you are watching this, feel free to hang out on chat and let's talk. Let me know from where you are watching this. Uh, yeah, this is what I'm doing. This. Sorry. If our programs expect the output of every program to become input to another, yes, that's what I'm doing. Expect the output of every program as yet unknown program. If programs fulfill this expectation, our users will be happy to make sure. Okay. The first question to ask is our output for human in front of colorful terminal or for another program. To answer this, we can use is terminal trait. Okay, is terminal trait. Depending on who will read the output, we can then add extra information. Human tends to like colors. For example, if you run ls in a random Rust project, you might see something like this. Because the style is made for humans. In most configuration, it will even print some of the names like src in color. Yes. Uh, yes, it does. See, src in color. It's a green color and files on plain white and directories on green. Because the style is made for humans, in most configuration it will even print some of the names like src and TK output. Instead of columns that fit my terminal window, it will print every entry on its own. It will also not emit any colors. JSON output for machines. Third JSON. Hmm. I think this is the complete package for creating a CLI application. Excellent. I have this on chat, so you can check this out. Standard input dot is terminal. Print help and oh, ah. So guys, I can see there are 5 concurrent viewers. So guys, please come on chat. Let's hang out, man. So if you are a Rust developer, let's chat and share the experience. If you are a senior Rust developer, guide me. So anyways, rendering documentation. So it has everything, I think, this thing. Great, great. Maybe we'll do this later. Documentation part. but let's do this first. So we can do something like that. User enter, right? So we can say we have asked the user to enter the target type, and maybe this status should go over here. Also, guys, if you have like some cool combination for this thing, NeoVim, please let me know. I know like how to find, replace, find in a file, or file in entire project, find in entire project. One thing that I like face like issues with is going up and down on this thing, right? So I eventually had to use a mouse to scroll. So if you know anything, please. And there are other combinations also, but I use the most is find, searching, finding, find and replace and all. Okay, so user entered this thing, right? Now we want to like check this with the this thing, target type enum. So we'll say how we can check on enum. User, right? Not if else, we can say go over here. So we have this enum, right? This thing. Before, that's all right. So we can say, I mean, I was looking for something, you know, something that looks very good over here, but I think we can go with plain this thing. If user entry, so can we read line on trim? But what if I enter a space and then it trims? Uh, we can do one thing, no? I can do if user, uh, just doing one thing, how to check for empty string one in Rust is empty. Okay, this thing. So now is empty. 5 years ago. It says, is there a Rust way to check if the standard input buffer is empty before attempting to read it? Is terminal. Terminal. But we just saw this is terminal method, right, over here, where it is communicate with humans. uh, no, 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 on the this thing we saw it somewhere. So I think it was to check whether the output is going to be for terminal or not. Yeah, this thing. The first question to ask is our input, our output for. So it says is terminal standard output or is terminal. Is terminal. Try to determine if the descriptive handle refers to terminal. So it says I can use it to indicate that the user is prompted for input if this is a terminal. An example. This is what we are doing. So realization. So what it says? Please enter some text. Study input did not enter the correct string. If let some s dot cats next back s pop s pop. You type this thing. It says std. I mean, this is the thing that is, but there is something good available. No. So what it was doing? It says user entry, right? User entered this. User, uh, yeah, this. So standard input dot line. Instead of this, maybe if we do this, we can exit the program from here as well in case of error by showing message. We can say match. So we'll say okay. Uh, but it's not returning anything, right? Guess. Or maybe let's name it input. Input and err. So we can say process. You can say spawning and interacting with share process, but you also provide about and exist for terminating the current process. Okay. Just that. Exit now. I want to exit it, so maybe this is not returning anything, so we can say this, but I want it to exit in case of an issue. We have process dot end, right? Exit or end. Mm, yes, process exit. That's what I'm doing. Process exit will say 0. Immediately terminate the current progress. So we can do this thing. Now this thing, okay, that is fine. So if user entry, now here it will take, if there is an error, it will simply, we can do this. Error and reading the input. We'll do this. Now it will say, because like if user entry, we can do this thing as well. We can from like from here, if the user input.trim is empty, then we can say, then we can put this entire thing inside okay, this thing. Let's remove this thing, remove this thing, right? So we'll use this input. Maybe we can call it uh, user entry. There is earlier shadowing binding, so we can say user input. So we have user input in this. So guys, please let me know how the stream is going, and if you are liking it, leave a like. Also please let me know from where you are watching this, and let's chat. So is my audio like going good? Testing, testing. Oh. So I have this thing, so we'll say user input u size. What the heck? Enter the target type, so I'll say file. You entered 5. Okay, so it is 5. So let me just do one thing again. VIP VIPIN. So it should now return 6. 6. Okay, I got it now. So guys, do you have any idea if I use a match statement over here on the OK part? It is returning me this length. So is it the length of this entire? I think it is, right. So because it is counting a new line as well. Using match on std in list. So we should do this. Okay, nah. Yes, so instead of enum we can do this as well. I mean, we can match input with the cases over here, right? Cool. uh, it says read line okay expect are valid names, right? So it says I want this name dot trim alice bob. No, that's fine. So I think user input should be there. User input nahi, user entry, and this thing, it has to be this. All right. Okay, user entered this. That is fine. Now I can check. User entered this. Now I can check. I can ask the thing again. So the issue with this is, what if I want to take multiple entries from here? So I can say taking multiple input from user and first relay application. Hello, hello. Okay. So maybe we should use a loop, and inside loop we should do this, right? And as soon as it matches the one of the cases, we should exit the loop. How about that? Because we cannot like do this, right? Multiple this thing. What do you say? WL. So we can say, let's just do what we are thinking. So instead of this, we can use this in. Can we? Can we do that? We can search for. Hey, we have the guessing game, right? Where is this thing? That will also be written inside loop. Uh, there is a thing called final game, something like that. Generic type, automated test, error messages, smart pointers, fundamental. No, it revisits the game again. So for the starters, it says okay, it introduced with CLI, and later on it finalized the project with something. And I command line program this thing. Maybe this is no, it's about arguments. So from the argument of the terminal, it collects this thing. Argument file path, query file path. Okay. I think we should go here only. Common programming a guessing game. Hmm. Yes, we have to do something like this as well because we will match. So guess dot cm that cmp secret number or ordering dot less ordering dot less. So ordering should be an enum over here. Is it? No. Oh, acha, ordering. Okay, great, great, great. So guess is making a comparison for the this thing. Ordering is a input trait. So to request equals you win. That is fine. Yes, trim parse number free time. So we can also implement this thing as well so that user cannot type any enter instead of like any number instead of only those specified enum that we have created, file and network. So those all are improvement, but we want this thing, allow multiple guesses, right? So okay, so that's what we are thinking. We have to use loop. We'll use this thing over here, loop, this. Now this panicked. So getting a correct guess. So it will break. That is good. That is good. Error, continue. Read line. So what it does? It where is implemented. So okay. There should be a final thing here. This is final tweak. Uh, inside loop, it is creating this thing again. Yes, why not? Midline, guess. So you see this book, I think it holds all the concepts and all. Guys, come on. Shazam. Yeah, chal. The girl in the yellow jacket. Yeah, she started it. All right. There is nothing. So error occurred, making an exit. Mm-hmm. So will return, right? What we have to do? Hmm. So we need to check few things over here. So we'll say if user entry dot trim, it will be a is empty. Then we will continue, right? Uh, then if it's not, then we'll check. We'll do something like match user entry dot parse. What's this? Yeah, trim dot parse. So we'll check if user should not enter any integer as well, right? So it's check if it's a number, it returns this, and based on this we can check. All right. So if it's a error, we show and continue. Okay. So if it's a error, we continue. If it's not, we show a message and then continue. So why don't we do तो पार्स कर दिया, पार्स करने के बाद यहीं पे कर लें या अलग से बना लें? Let's say if it's a number, uh, no, this we should not do this because what does or this string slice into another type because parse is so general it can cause problem with type interference such as parse is one of the few times you will see. uh, so if I do this parse and unwrap, then 4, so is error. Okay, so it will throw an error. So we can say it is empty. Oh, sorry. If it's a number, we will say can do this. And then we will continue. But if it's an error, it means then it's a string. Then what we'll do? If it's an error, then it's a string. So what we'll do, we'll check over here. So we have already checked for empty. Now we will check it. Now if it's a string, we want to match it with the this thing. So what we'll do, we'll say match user entry non-empty. I found it somewhere to use match. This thing. You can say match user entry dot trim. Now here it is. So we'll say target type dot file. Is it target type dot network? We'll do something. We'll do it later. And we'll make an exhaustive case that says println, say please enter a valid target type. Come on. And we will continue. Now where we will break? We will break over here on these things. Okay, if it's a network, we will break. I'm not sure if I'm going in right direction. Expected str found target type. Watcher, we have implemented some things over here, right? Where is this thing? This change type added. So found target type. Maybe we'll simply say file. It was a good idea to maintain an enum, but I think we should do this thing network. Okay, now type and cannot satisfy from string. But why? But why? Any code following this expression is unreachable if it's empty. User entry dot trim dot is empty. Also this thing is unreachable. What the heck is this? Hello, hello. Oh, guess string new. Uh, String new. Do it later. So dimension cannot satisfy this thing. So if I do, if I cannot parse it, what is the cannot infer the type of f declared on the method this. Why? User entry. User enter this instead of this thing. User enter. If I can show it over here. Can go check if the read line if let and all. So it says this. Okay, that's what it's complaining about, right? I need to do this as well. Consider specifying a generic argument. Okay. I'm expecting it to be this thing. Alright, I haven't used num. Please enter the correct, please enter the target type. You enter, you can say this. Alright, so what will happen if I go over here? It will run on the loop because we need to keep asking the user if user enters a wrong value. Right, if so we'll check if it's empty. If I hit just enter, then it should ask again. Else it will check if it's a number. If it's a number, then it will also continue, but it will tell the user that please enter a target type, you have entered a number and all. If it's not a number, it will goes into this thing and it will show me that we have entered this. Now it will again match if it's a file, if it's a network, then if it's not, then it will go here and here. So now let's do this thing. Now let's check one thing. Enter the target type. If I enter again, it should use again. So if I do 78, please enter the target type, you entered 78. If I do enter again, it will again run a loop. So maybe I could show something over here. I could say println. What's the time? Okay. It says println. You have entered uh, empty input. Please try again. You can show something like this. Cargo run. So it's, oh, let's remove this thing as well. So it says welcome to ScanGuard. Enter the target type to watch. I will enter empty string. It says you have entered an empty input. Please try again. I will do it again, again. Now I will say 786. Please enter a target type. You enter 786. 214. Enter a target type. Now I'll do whipin, which does not match with any of the cases, either file or networks. Then it should show me enter a valid target type, and then it will again ask me for input. So it says user entered whipin. Please enter a valid target type, and then it's again asking if I do this. So this is the proof that it is again. Now if I do uh, file, then it should check for events. User entered file, and now it's checking for the events. So this is good. Let's do this thing. File. Let's do. We'll say println. We'll say watching directory. We'll say path. Now we have to implement one more thing. We haven't implemented a thing where user will enter a path, right? So now if everything works well, then it will again ask for input of, now we have to create another standard input line. Okay, so if it's a file, then it will check for this thing. If it's a file, how can we make it transform to transforming a string to uppercase in Rust? To uppercase. Guys, we have around 80 views, but I don't see any likes on the stream. So please let me know. Okay, camera is not working, I can see. Is it okay? Yes. I'm really sorry. So that's the problem with camera. I'm using my mobile as a camera, so if anyone messages or call, but I have been asked to use DND. Maybe if I move to flight mode or something, I think the Bluetooth disconnects. I don't want to do that. Anyways, so guys, yeah, that's what I was saying is we have around 80 views and we have currently 5 concurrent viewers that are watching. If the stats are new, I think, or old, I don't know. Let me refresh it. So guys, please leave a like, and if you don't think that it's not I mean, if the thing is not worthy to like, please let me know as well. So we have one subscriber over here, 230. Now we hit. Thank you very much, whoever has subscribed. We have been around here for 1.5 hour, and we have implemented few things. We have created that hard code kind of thing to a CLI application where the user will enter thing, and we have implemented some uh, error handling as well, right? We have handled few cases where a user cannot, if the user entered an empty space, it will again ask for input. If a user entered a number instead of that specific command, then it will also do that. Now here is the thing, so either I can do it in once, like as we discussed that in the Rust book, that there are arguments as well on the command. Okay, so if I do that as well, so it will work on a single standard input. Why? Because if it's check, because we have to like collect it, trim it based on the space, collect it, and we will check whether the first argument, the zeroth index of that vector, has file or network or not. Okay, we can do that as well. Then we can take second argument as the directory. Then again we will have to check for the second argument, the arguments validity, whether it's a perfectly valid directory or not. So we have to do that. So there are few things that we have to do. So let's be simple, let's not make things like overly complicated over here. Let's implement a single thing. Whether, I don't know if it's a optimistic approach to use like this, but I think it is good because we are kind of managing these things. Okay. So if it's a file, watching directory on path this, it should come later. Now here, if it's a file, then what should I do? I should do this thing again, let mute user path as well, right? So we'll say string new. By the way, yeah, I did a change. I don't know if my screen went off or my camera went off. If you have, I mean, I think you should have seen, right? My screen was shared. I have start like, instead of this initiating with new associated function, I did that string dot from. That's no problem as well. We can do that as well. So I used this. So that is okay too. No problem in that. All right. But let's do this thing. So we have a user path over here. Now we will take again this thing. Uh, we'll use match statement over here again, because we need to check if the thing is perfectly valid or not, or whether the directory he entered is a valid directory or not. Okay, so we can do that. We'll say if it's a file, then we say enter file or directory to monitor. Right, we can do so. So maybe status, so we can do standard into this thing. So we have new line and everything. So let's remove this thing. It will add couple of extra spaces over here. Error in reading the target. Okay, so we have this thing. Now let's do match on std in dot read line, and say and user path, right? So we say if it's okay or if it's a error, right? If it's a error, then we'll simply, we already did that, right? This thing will paste it over here. Error in reading the input will say error in reading the input path. Okay, now let's do this thing. Now here we will check whether the directory is valid or not. Okay, how do we do that? Because we already have implemented this thing, right, on the watcher file, where we check the directory's validity when we monitor that thing, when we monitor the directory. So guys, please feel free to come on chat. Also let me know if you are like whether I should do recorded videos or should I come live like this. Okay, I'm having a call, just give me a minute. Alright guys, if you are watching this, at least leave your name on the chat. Okay, so now here we need to check if the path is valid or not, right? The user that we have provided. So if it's I should not break it, right? I should continue if it's an empty string. Okay, so we can check for this thing if user path dot trim dot is empty. If it's empty, then I have to continue from here, and I can simply show a println. By the way, if you think there is a better way to do all this cluttering thing, I'm writing this because maybe we could have two things over here. So first is this and second is this, because we don't want the user to hit file again. But that's a different thing. There can be like, if you want to like track it or test it, then we can create multiple scenarios. Because now what this thing does is, if I fail to enter a proper directory, or I like entered a empty directory, then what will happen is, if I entered an empty directory, then it will again ask user to enter all those things from start, like he will enter again file and all and all. Okay, but now let's do it that way. Okay, now we have checked for empty thing. Now what we'll do, we will check for the validity. So we'll say if path new, and we'll say user path dot trim dot is exists, it returns a bool, right? if it exists. So here it will cover our number thing as well. So if someone user entered a number, then it will cover this thing as well, because the number that will not be a valid directory. So if I do this exists, so what it returns a boolean value. If it exists, then this a shitty thing. If I do, if it doesn't exist, we will directory or file does not exists, then we will again continue. Okay, we'll again continue. And but if it's exist, we can do this thing over here, watching a directory part, this thing. Right, now instead of this path over here, we can say user path, and we'll pass user path. It's a string, but we'll say as str. Makes sense? We'll see if it's not. Say cargo. Let's build this thing. Okay, path is never used, so we'll search for path. This thing, right? So let's copy this thing because we are going to need it. All right. Okay. So I think we have converted all our hard-coded values to the one where it will be entered by a user. First of all, it will check for the specific target type, whether file or a network. And network, we need to implement it. That's our next step. But if it's a file, then we will check whether the directory that is passing is a valid directory or not. If it's not, we'll throw error and ask the user to enter again. If it's not, if it's a valid directory, then definitely it is going to be washed. Okay. All cargo run. All right, enter the target type. We already have tested all the empty numbers and this thing, so we'll simply say we need to check one thing, that does it take the uppercase. Okay, so this thing, right? So file, can I do something like this thing? Hmm. I don't want to use that dot to uppercase. I mean, I can use it, convert everything to this, but I should write a for in match in Rust. This operator is pattern matching. Great. We'll say file, and for network, we'll say network. Okay. Cargo run. Enter a target type. We'll say file. Enter a file or directory to monitor. Let's enter 123. If it's sending me again to the top, directory or file does not exist. If I write 123, enter a correct target type. Great, it is working the way we have written it. So let me just write it again. File, it says you enter file, enter the directory that you want to say. I will say documents docu, can I do this, users within document test folder. So this is the directory that I want to watch. If I hit enter, it says path not found, users within document test. Oh, I need to trim it as well. You see, it is taking this thing as well. So instead I should do user, like I'm passing this thing, right? So if I say watching a directory with a new line, I will say trim it. And if I'm passing it, I'll say trim it. as well. Let's go over here again. Cargo run, I will say Jojo, it should not be a correct target type. Momo, no. 123, no. Empty, this, alright. I'll say file. Now I want a target type, so if I do this thing, I'll go great. So watching a directory, so the issue was with the new line, so now it's watching a directory. Let's see if it's correctly watching a directory. Let me handle some events there. I'll say test folder. We already have v1.txt, right? So I'll say nano v1.txt. It will take as a new file right now because we are using in-memory data structure that is not already in sync or already have data. So let's remove this thing. Oh, I thought I was using vi. We'll say Vipin Joshi. I'll say x y. Yes, it is taking the events. Great. Yoshi implemented feature commit GitHub. All right. So if I do this, awesome. It says I added 4 lines. This GitHub commit feature implemented. Cool. So let's close this thing now. Yeah. So I think this thing is done. Right. This is done. Instead of now hard coded values, we have take the user input and try to kind of error handle those as well. Now we'll work on this network thing. Let me put it on GitHub so that you guys can have a look. CLI implementation of user inputs. Alright, now I am pushing it on main. Alright, this code is pushed. So if you guys are watching this, I have git repo on the chat pinned, and you can check that this code over there and try to improve this. Also try to optimize this. Maybe suggest me also what are the improvements and optimization. Alright, create a issue. I'll see that. Maybe we can next time we can handle it together. Okay, so this thing could be improved, right? Instead of like creating another stand like this input standard, we can make it argument based. So now the user will write file and then file path, and also it can receive it can uh, also pass the feature, or let's say what we call it, a type of watching, right? If it's a complete directory watching, then it should do like entire thing, and if it's not, it will only give us a flag that okay, the file has been changed. So we can do that as well, argument based. I think my camera is still off. Let me just ooh, yes. Eh, is it again? Why the hell is my camera off? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on, people? Do I have to resume this thing? Is it okay now? Yes. Yes. See, that's what happens when if you guys don't tell me that something is wrong. I mean, come on, man. If you are watching this, at least come on, chat. What the heck? I'm getting that there are 6 or 7 concurrent viewers, or maybe even 10 concurrent viewers, but still, I'm not getting any chat or something like that. What are you watching me for? What are you watching me for, guys? Alright, so this is done. We will implement the networks part later. We'll implement it together, right? Uh, the good thing is, after a 2 hours of, I mean, almost a 2 hours of live, we have one more subscriber. Thank you, whoever is whoever subscribed. I have a list of subscribers over here, but those are the one who uh, keep their subscribers open. So we'll implement it later. For now, just will be live for 10 minutes only for now. और बताइए भैया. So from where you guys are watching? Is that even correct? Let me check. How many people are watching? Let's go over here. Okay, 3 watching. If I refresh this thing. So guys, come on, yeah. 3 people are watching. At least state your names on the chat. At least say you are like, I mean, you are doing it wrong. The stream is shitty. Say something. तोता घाटी के साथ ही so we have this 5 people watching. Let me check if they. Come on, guys. At least suggest me a good site to watch. Have some fun, or maybe memes and all. Bullshit. What is this? I saw somewhere the post about Rest Delhi. Predictable performance without garbage action, memory safety without sacrificing control, zero cost. Guys, if you know anything like where I can test this application, if it's optimized or not, let me know. Maybe there can be a tool where we will paste our code and it shows us if it's a shitty code or prod grade code. I was able to watch it happen in real time and feel the energy of someone just repeating what AI told. Oh god, by my last interview, he was not even good at cheating. Suggestion confirm skip registration. Come on, guys. 6 minutes now. Will be live for 6 minutes only. Oh, wow, wow, wow. It adds types, sure it helps autocomplete, but it doesn't fix JavaScript. JS still has loose coercion, weirdly equality rules, null versus undefined madness. TypeScript hide the pain, but the pain is still underneath. That's not a solution, that's a patch. Yes, sir. File duplicator, a fast multi command line to Instagram by finding managing duplicate files. Uh, so they created a file duplicator. It detects exact duplicates using multiple hash algorithms, optional fuzzy matching, Rayon for multi-threaded performance, generate clear and structured JSON reports, supports dry run quarantine, flexible regex filtering. Let's see. Recursively scan directories, ठीक हो गया. Applies filters, skips quarantine directories automatically. Exact matches, cryptographic hashes, show Blake 3 and fuzzy text matching uses edit distance algorithm, fuzzy image matching perpetual hashing to find similar images. Rehashing and shading. Sawtooth image CPU's crossbeam. Plus documentation code optimization stock. ठीक है. अच्छा rust doc. That's what we were talking about. Maybe. Uh, did we close that thing? Rendering documentation. No. Anyways. Alright, guys. It's time for lunch. So I think we have implemented this thing over here, right? So we moved everything from hard coded to user based input. So we'll implement network part later. All right, bye bye, see you later. And we will implement the networking part later, where we can monitor network as well. Also there is a directory on the, like the repo on the chat also. I on It's mentioned in one of my YouTube post as well. You can track that thing, and go ahead and feel free to take a local copy and try to fix if you find anything. Try to improve everything, and see you later next time. Bye bye. And if you like this stream, feel free to like it. I'm not sure if you're gonna like a 2 hour long stream or not, but and thank you whoever subscribed today. We have one more subscriber. Thank you very much. Also, you guys can feel free to check out my other videos. Bye bye, see you later.